Well, what a women's doubles that was. Absolute thriller. 58 minutes and Dwala Gutta and Ashwini Ponappa through to the quarter-final. Coming up next, we've got men's singles. In fact, we've got singles all the way through to the end of the evening here. We're starting with Hans-Kristian Vittinghus against the 5 times world champion, Lin Dan of China. Then we've got the former world #1, Lee Chong-wei. Of course, 3 times he's been beaten in the final of World Championships. He's up against the 2010 World Junior Champion, Wang Zhiming. Then we turn our attention to women's singles, and for a 3rd consecutive World Championships, Linda Weni Fanatri is appearing in the last 16. She's up against the #5 seed and former world champion Ratchanmukh Intanon. Then we finish off with the bronze medalist from Copenhagen, Victor Axelsen, against Pranoy of India. But this is what we've got coming up next. The left-handed 5-time world champion, Lin Dan of China, up against the #14 seed, Hans-Kristian Vittinghus. Now, this is from the bottom half of the draw, and as you can see, well, that's from the first round onwards. And I can tell you that the winner of this match will play against the #2 seed, Janor Jorgensen, who's safely through against Sungwon Ho of Korea. In fact, Janor Jorgensen looked very impressive indeed in his last 16 match. So here comes the 29-year-old from Friedrichshafen, Hans-Kristian Vittinghus. Followed by the man who needs little introduction if you're a badminton fan. Well, he'll certainly go down as one of the all-time greats, Lin Dan, perhaps the greatest ever in many people's opinion. 6 World Championship finals, 5 gold medals. Of course, his first final was Anaheim in 2005. Lost out to a certain Taufik Hidayat, the Indonesian, of course, who has now retired from international badminton. But Lin Dan, at the age of 31, well, he's still going strong. He's still an incredible athlete. And by all accounts, still has the desire to create history, perhaps in Rio, by winning a 3rd consecutive Olympic title. That's a long way off, and first goal is to regain the world title. Of course, he wasn't in the World Championships a year ago. Lin Dan didn't qualify, wasn't high enough in the world ranking. But the 31-year-old, well, not only 5-time world champion, twice Olympic champion, 5-time All-England champion, 78 finals, at least 1 final a year for the last 15 years. The list of achievements goes on and on. Well, Vittinghus is #16 in the world. He's seeded 14 here at these World Championships. He has been inside the top 10. He's been ranked as high as 8, a total of 11 weeks at #8, in fact, earlier this year and this time last year as well. Reached the final of the US Grand Prix Gold, having saved 2 match points in the very first round. It's been a little more comprehensive here in Jakarta with his first 2 matches. Well, it says round 2 on both. I can tell you that it was Kieran Merrilees who was the first round, and Sho Sasaki, the left-hander, in the 2nd round. His opponent, Lin Dan, 31 years of age, born in Longyan, near Fuzhou, capital of Fujian province in the south of China. World #5, of course, he has been world #1. This is his 9th World Championships, his very first World Championships in Birmingham in 2003, when he lost in the last 16 to the eventual champion, Xia Xuanzhe of China, who now happens to be his coach. And once again, I do apologise, we've got round 2 and round 2. His first round was against the American 8 and 11, Pugnayarat, and then against the Brazilian Paiola, 14 and 14. Well, this is the fourth meeting, as you can see, between the two. But you have to go all the way back to 2012. And it was the quarter-final of the German Grand Prix Gold when they last met. Well, not only is it 3-love as far as the head-to-head is concerned, all three of those previous matches have been won in 2 straight games. So there are court officials. Susan Taylor from Australia is our umpire. And Karapat of Thailand,
ladies and gentlemen,
service judge.
On my right, Lindan, China. And on my left, Hans-Kristian Vittinghus, Denmark. Lindan to serve, love all, play.
So the 5-time former world champion, Lindan, the number 5 seed this year here in Jakarta, getting this last 16 encounter against Hans-Kristian Vittinghus underway. And of course, Steen Pedersen, former Danish head coach, sitting along beside me. And of course, you know Hans-Kristian Vittinghus extremely well. 3 previous meetings, but not for 3 years. And I think Vittinghus has improved considerably over that time.
Yeah, I think he has as well. And more importantly, I think Lindan has been a little bit more human, especially here during the last 2 years. But that's all been in Super Series tournaments. We haven't really seen him in majors, or when we've seen him, he's been absolutely brilliant.
Service over. 1-2. Service over. 3-1.
I know this is going to be the impossible question, Steen, but sum up, if you can, what makes Lindan so brilliant?
Well, he's got excellent touch. He's got deceptions on a lot of his shots, and oh, very lucky. And he's very, very strong mentally and tactically, and then he's won it all, so he doesn't suddenly get nervous like a lot of the other players if they are really close to achieving their dream goals. He's already done it several times. Mainly...
I'm interested in that, Steen, because doesn't that put more pressure on because everybody's out to beat you, everybody's out to get you?
Yeah, but still, if he loses this match or any other match in this tournament, his career has still been more than okay. It's been extraordinary. The best singles player ever. So I think he enjoys this a lot. I think actually that's what get him going. A regular Super Series, that's probably hard to really be on the highest levels for those tournaments. He's been playing so many of them, but this is fun.
Service over. 2-5.
Look at that little deception. Wow. Vittinghus tried some kind of deception as well, or I think it was a miss and a hit in the same movement.
So given everything you've said about the qualities of Lindan, what's Vittinghus got to try and do here then?
Yeah, Vittinghus is quite strong in his attack, so he definitely has the ability to score on Lindan if he can get the chances, and that's perhaps the main problem. Will he be able to sort of play up to himself? In order to do that, he must avoid the areas where Lindan's deceptions are the most lethal. This is one of it. And try to play where he's a little bit more human, and then go for the chances on the front court. And the front court is probably going to be the big issue, because Vittinghus probably still can develop quite a bit on the front court.
And of course, Vittinghus has reached a quarter-final of a World Championship previously. That was 4 years ago when the tournament was held in Wembley Arena in London. But it will be a tall order to repeat that here today.
9-3.
I think also taking the drift of the stadium into consideration, Lin Dan is magnificent in controlling the drift.
Because of course the sideways drift could have brought that shuttle back into court, but it didn't. That was perfect judgment by Lin Dan. And to the mid-game interval with an 8-point advantage. Lin Dan, the 5-time former champion, off to an absolute flyer. And I think we can safely say Lin Dan means business. As Steen was alluding to, this for Lin Dan, World Championships is fun. Yeah, look at that little hold and flick. Well, Steen, I know you've been up all night, swatting away, doing your homework, trying to find out World Championship medals. And
exactly.
Because I caught you out the other day, well, here's my quiz question of the day. You complained that I was too difficult with my questions. I said that Lin Dan, 6 World Championship finals. So who's been in the most finals?
Going. Okay.
Well, it must be a doubles player.
Yep.
Play.
So play gets underway again. I'm going to leave Steen to ponder that one and tell me in between the first and second game the answer to my little quiz of the day. Oh, look at that. Look at that.
12-3.
What do you do? Well, there, on the far side to us, was the man that beat Lin Dan in Lin Dan's first ever World Championships. Charles Hanser, now his coach. Oh, it's just long.
13-3.
And I think that Vittinghus on this far end of the court, he can't really play the building up game. He needs to sort of adjust his game to the wind.
That's good judgment.
Simply has to attack a bit more from that far sideways, helped by the drift.
It's not really. I mean, I know you've said that Vittinghus does have a good attack, but I don't think of him necessarily as an aggressive player. I think of him as an exceptionally hard worker on court.
Yeah, and I think that he should work on becoming a little bit more controlling and yeah, more aggressive in his game, because it's such a tough time defending all the time, and I don't see any of the top 3 in the world winning that way. I see them using it once in a while as sort of a distraction, but they score their own points. That's well played.
6-3.
Yeah, and he
13.
forced the short lift with the net play,
Yes.
which is what you were talking about earlier.
He simply needs to play sharp at the net. If that's not possible, then there's some possibilities in the backhand side, in the flat backhand side of Lindan. Lindan is not really pushing with his backhand in the flat game, but so far he's been controlling everything. That one, very nice.
Service over. 14-6.
I hate to say this, because I know we're only halfway through the opening game, but it doesn't look to me as if Vittinghus actually believes.
No, he's got a really, really bad start, but he's also on the bad side of the court for him, because he can't put any pressure on Lindan. And he, of course, needs to believe that he can do that when he changes sides with the Chinese Olympic champion. But it might take some rallies, because being 9 points down here, that's not so good. This is what I mean. He's pushing, but he's actually on his way back before he finishes his push, and it becomes a bad push. So you need to believe in your shots and follow through it.
Oh.
So perhaps the better, he was a bit lucky here. The better
7-16.
Explanation regarding the attacking of Vittinghus is that he has a big smash, but he's not really an attacking player, because his net gain is not particularly sharp. And that's one of the trademarks of the really attacking players, that they are really sharp at the net, because they needed to set up the attacking opportunities.
Well, they're the scrambling and the retrieving, working for Vittinghus. Look at that delightful shot, though, from Lindan. He is human after all.
But he's standing there totally upright, believing in his shot.
Yeah.
And that makes it so much easier to make quality shots.
Lin, Dan.
Well, there on the left is Jakob Hansen. Is that Jakob Hansen, the sports psychologist?
That's right.
Sitting alongside the coach, Kenneth Jonasson. So, my questioning whether Vittinghus has the belief that he can actually win this. I'm sure that Jakob Hansen will have something to say at the change of ends. I'm sure he's already had something to say before he went on to court. Yeah,
and you could say in some ways that he doesn't have to believe. He just has to go out and do what he's decided he wants to do.
Yeah.
And then see how far that brings him. There it was again, not committing totally to the net shot.
17-8.
Is that because that's alien to him, or is he so afraid of what Lindan might do in return?
Yeah, I don't really know, but it's probably a mixture of it. As it is right now, it would actually be better for Vittinghus just to put 3 service returns into the net and change the side, because playing like this here, where Lindan is controlling everything, will only it can't do anything good for him. So it's just about getting on with it and on to the next game. Otherwise, he should try and figure out, what can I do if I succeed winning a game here? So what can I do in the third game when I'm at the same end of the court?
Yeah.
19-8.
Little nod of approval from both of the Chinese coaches. opportunities, game points galore. Shot from Vittinghus, a moment of defiance. He didn't even take it that early, did he? Oh, that's good. Oh, my word. Well, full length dive from Lindan. And it was worth it because he won the point and he's taken the opening game.
21-9.
21-9 confirms the umpire, Susan Taylor. Look at that. Oh, yeah, you need to be careful. Thought he was heading towards the service judge. Yeah, well, in absolute control in game number 1. 21-9 of the scoreline. Just 15 minutes of play.
Excellent play by Lindan, but in all honesty, he hasn't really been put under pressure, and I feel that this is one of the situations where the personality of Vittinghus is being tested, meant in this way that sometimes he's a little bit too nice. How do you get a player who's won 9 points on one side of the court in the first game against the 5-fold world champion to believe that he can actually still win this match?
Yeah, well, it's a predicament, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, certainly his coach and his psychologist are working hard on that dilemma. What do you say?
Well, you say that now you can put pressure on Lindan, and you should mainly put pressure on his long backhand side and his middle court flat backhand. Then play his short forehand side as well. And a lot of variation to the attack. Follow up immediately if he puts a long defensive pick-up long, then that's fine, congratulations, but you got to take your chances. You got to invest, you got to play your margins. You cannot stand there and believe that your normal game and your normal determination will do it for you, because it won't.
Wise words from Steen Pedersen. Well, there you can see one of the adjoining courts. There's 4 courts in action here in the Stora Stadium. So 21-9 that opening game.
Second game, love all.
Going Lindan's way.
Play.
Very, very good indeed. That's good judgment.
1 love. Service over.
Also important to play these net shots a little bit further into the court so that Lindan can't spin it close to the net.
Like that.
And that's it. That's more like it. I still saw him a little bit hesitant, Vittinghus, but I don't blame him after losing the first game. I just, whenever he hits it hard against Lindan, run to the net. Because it's very rare we see Lindan picking up long.
wide of the centre line.
Service over.
There's so much,
2
there's so
all.
big an area to serve it into.
Yeah, why go so close to that centre line? Why risk an error?
Yes,
Oh, it's called wide. Oh,
Lindan is challenging that it's called wide. That's not necessary.
Oh, are you challenging? Yes. Called in.
well, no, the line judge called it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he did.
The line judge, watch the line judge at the back of the court. He calls out. Why is Lindan challenging?
Was Vittinghus challenging as well? No, he's not doing anything.
No, he's not doing anything. The call was out. Now, hang on, wait a minute. We can't hear the umpire at all. Umpire's calling them over.
It was called in by the line judge.
Yeah, I know, and I didn't say a word.
Yeah. No. Yeah. You put your hand up to challenge that.
Well,
I can't
the challenge is that well, the Hawkeye says that it was in.
And it is in. But no one was challenging it.
No, that's just unbelievable. The line judge clearly called it out, which was in Lindan's favour. He challenges, loses a challenge over it, and loses
Service over
the point.
3-2.
My goodness me, I don't think I've ever seen that before. Well, there you go. There's always a first.
Service over. 3-4.
But very fair of Lindan to challenge the call there. Sort of test if the linesman were right. Excellent shot, that one. You can't see that that's a smash.
Four, 3.
Oh, nice. Oh, that was going wide, wasn't it?
Yeah. And look, every time Lindan has time in his forehand side, there's so much deception on his shot. So if you watch the legs of the opponent, they will always go a little step in a different direction. It's impossible to read which kind of shot that comes from that corner.
Missed it.
And that's the clear weakness of Lindan in the recent tournaments. That's his long backhand corner. He's been a little undangerous from that particular area.
He seems to get behind the shuttle nicely.
Yeah.
What is the issue that?
It's just not as dangerous as the forehand side.
Okay. Oh, that's a lovely shot.
Good lift. So he's not doing anything from that corner. So
Yeah.
But it wasn't really possible, or it was at least very difficult to play that corner standing on the opposite side of the court, because that's the drift. That's actually the worst corner you could play, because the side drift is taking it out, and the drift alongside the court is also taking it out. So now it's possible to put pressure on that corner. Yeah, way too high.
Service over. 5-6.
tell you, Vittinghus scratching his head.
Yeah, and that's what I don't like. I mean, he's actually got a quite respectable start to this second game here. So now he needs to be concentrated. That's why he can't go around feeling sorry for himself. Come on, play.
7-6.
Good rally. Oh, look at that.
Service over. 7-all.
Good idea, but it was read by Lindan. You could see that in this picture. Already had his racket there. It's easier in this arena to hit the quick smashes, only hit by the forearm. You don't risk so much as of mistiming it due to the drift and so on, because it's a very short movement. It's also a lot easier to keep your own balance, so you can start running towards the area where you feel the next shot will be coming.
Just going through my mind, his little push to the net. That's exactly what Steen had said he should be doing, not going for the tight net shot, just pushing back from the net a little, but then in his very next shot, Vittinghus just snatched at it.
9-7.
Oh, the court's going to need to be mocked.
Clever service by Lindan, serving towards the sideline.
Well, it was a good push deep into the deep forehand corner, but that's the corner that you think is dangerous, and he created a lovely angle. Yeah,
and another problem is that he's returning with his forehand, which is very hard to disguise. Oh, totally mistimed that one.
Yeah.
11-7.
And to the mid-game interval with a 4-point advantage. And Lindan, having already taken the first game, as you can see, in comfortable style. 21-9, yeah, I think that came off the frame. Yeah. And the disappointment obvious with Vittinghus. So I'm going to have to push you now, Steen, on my quiz.
Oh.
The player who's been in more finals than anyone else. Lindan's been in 6 finals, winning 5 of them.
Gowling.
Spot on. Well done.
Wow.
You told me you've been up studying all night, and do you know how many finals she was in?
Thank you.
Probably around 8 or something like that.
Well done. How many women's doubles?
6, I think.
I think it was 5 women's doubles and 3 mixed doubles. But well done, Steen. Marvellous. There we are. We're going to have to go back to the hard questions. Terrific. So 11-7.
11-7. Play.
Vittinghus needs to stay on that front court. He can't move back too early. He will lose the initiative if he ever got it. Now he can move. That's it. Yeah. He simply needs to take his chances on the front court and put pressure on Lindan. If he's just trying to sort of work him around the court, it's not going to happen. It's way too experienced for that.
Oh, good net shot. Short lift. Yeah. So typical of Lindan. Tight spinning net shot, forcing the short lift. But he really doesn't miss many of these, does he?
No. And you can't see whether it's straight or cross or to the body.
Look where that landed, though. That was way in front of Vittinghus, and Vittinghus's defensive stance was about mid-court area. It's extraordinary.
Another service return mistakes, and
13-8.
Yeah, that's not good, of course.
Oh, that's lovely.
Service over.
He needs to move with that
13.
speed, Vittinghus, and then sometimes he will be looking extremely foolish when he's gone to the wrong side, but that's the only chance. Move quicker.
Oh, indecision. Was going to land in, I think. That's very wide.
Service over. 14-9.
It's been smooth sailing for Lindan so far. And I actually don't see that change.
No, I can't see it for the next game and a half, which would have to be the case if Vittinghus is going to come through this. 6-point advantage now.
15-9.
But again, I mean, why try to pick up long cross? Just pick up short. We haven't seen Lindan rushing to the net. Just block it.
Frustration
16-9.
almost boiling over.
Yeah. It's like just missing, even when he's playing good rallies, the last few shots are missing. They're not precise enough. And that's what I mean, that if he has to sort of capitalize on his big smash, he needs to be better at the front court, both creating opportunities and also following up after the smashes and be clinical in that situation.
Yeah, I totally agree. I just think that there's certain players, and Lindan is one of them, that, you know, because of their sheer talent and ability, make opponents think they've got to hit the perfect shot, and in trying to hit the perfect shot, they inevitably make errors.
Exactly.
8-point advantage now. There you are.
Service over. 10-17.
Get to the net first. Take the opportunity. A couple of Danish fans in the crowd there. I'm sure there's more than a couple. Looking a little bit anxious there. nothing wrong about it. Man is cruising.
And there's another Dane awaiting tomorrow for Lindan.
Yep. And a man who's beaten him quite recently too.
So we'll get a real good indicator of what kind of form he's in.
Number 2 seed Janne Jorgensen,
Service
of course,
over.
will play the winner of this match.
18-12.
I can see exactly what you mean now, Steen, about the net, because even when he seems to get there quite early, Vittinghus seems to drop his racket in trying to play something deceptive, but instead of taking it early and really applying pressure.
It's a shot that's losing time.
Yeah, I see it now. Points away from a place in yet another World Championship quarter-final for Lindan. 1 point away.
20, match point 12.
Good pressure. Oh, my word.
Service
If only
over.
he'd done that a little earlier in the match.
13-20.
A little moment of magic from Vittinghus. Look at that. What a lovely way to save match point. And there's still another 7 opportunities for Lindan. Brilliant. The master at work. 21-9, 21-13. My goodness me, he looked impressive today. A little under 38 minutes. And he's through to the quarter-final. Once more, Lindan, after
Match won
being
by
absent from the World Championships a year ago.
21-9, 21-13.
In fact, the last time he was actually beaten in a World Championship was the quarter-final stage in Paris in 2010, lost out to Park Sung-wang. And so he does have the most incredible record at World Championship level. Yeah, he's pleased with that. And Steen, you're absolutely right. These World Championships, these major events, excite this man, Lindan. Fired up, playing well. And that is an ominous sign for all the other players in the draw. Thanks, the fans. Confirmation of that scoreline. 21-9, 21-13 in a little over 37 minutes. Well, the fans here in Istora Senayan absolutely loving the badminton. One of the matches on the adjoining courts has just gone the full distance, just going to a third game. But there is confirmation of that wonderful women's doubles with Dwala Gutta and Ashwini Ponapur coming through in 58 minutes. 21-19 in the deciding game. Lindan, the 5-times world champion, was just simply too good for Hans-Kristian Vittinghus. 2 straight games in a little over 37 minutes. Lee Chong-wei, the former world #1. 3 times he's been beaten in the final of World Championships.